fairly sure most New Zealand households can rattle off some of New Zealand's overseas-based professional football players. Ryan Nelson, Winton Rufer, Winston Reid. Chris Wood, who is putting it in the back of the net currently for Burnley in the Premiership. I doubt the name Peter Whiting would crop up. Hardly surprising considering Whiting turned out for Second Division Charlton Athletic's reserves between 1967 and 1968. As a professional, the first New Zealander to become contracted. At the time, a groundbreaking achievement. Born in 1939, about 10 kilometres down the road from Charlton's London ground, Whiting moved to New Zealand as a 14-year-old and found his niche as a goalkeeper. His talent between the sticks for Miramar Rangers led him being selected for the national squad. Touring England and playing an unofficial game against the full England team in 1962. This is a tour photo you are looking at. By the way, isn't it about time someone reproduced cool retro jerseys like this one? After winning the Chatham Cup with Miramar in 1966, Whiting set his sights on playing professionally and made a self-funded journey to London for a trial with Charlton Athletic. 1966 was the year England won the World Cup. The British press viewed Whiting's arrival from New Zealand with curiosity. The BBC even sent a crew to interview and film him training. These stills are taken from that interview. I would have liked to have reproduced the full 90-second video, only my budget, zero, wouldn't stretch to paying for it. In the context of football in England at the time, Whiting's arrival was also seen as somewhat trailblazing and audacious. You see, in the 60s, the English Football Association had restrictions on foreigners playing in their leagues. The rule at the time was you had to be a resident in England for 2 years to become eligible. The flood of overseas players into English football didn't start till England entered the EU. Because Whiting held an English passport, he had an exemption. At the end of his trial, Whiting was signed by Charlton. His time at the club was rather curtailed by injury, and he never got to play for the first team in the Second Division. After 2 years in London, he returned to New Zealand and continued to play locally out of Wellington for some years. This clipping was from 1973. I'm happy to report Peter is still alive and well. He turned 80 in 2019. So thus ends this quick New Zealand football history lesson. I hope you enjoyed this topic. Please have a scratch around my other videos for more interesting things. And a special thanks to the Charlton Athletic Football Club.